So out of all the stories, out of all the videos I've ever told on this channel, I don't think I've ever spoke about my scariest and worst day in prison. I was sentenced to 2 years in the Arizona Department of Corrections. I only had to serve 12 months with the time credit, right? My time served, and the 85%, I only had to do 12 months. So a little over the halfway point. Things were good. I developed a pretty solid routine, met some decent people in the yard, had an outside job, and it was cool. You know, I was getting family visits. This one girl was writing me, so it was nice getting consistent letters. Things were good. I knew when I was going to get out, and there was light at the end of the tunnel, but a certain charge, a certain situation caught up with me. So sometime before I caught my case in 2011, I was at a hotel bar with some friends. We were drinking, just hanging out. It wasn't a hotel that I worked at. One of my friends knew this girl at a bar. The bar was inside a hotel, and we were just hanging out, right? Hanging out, drinking some beer or whatever. But this time, I was balls deep in my my opiate addiction, my H addiction. This one night, we all decided to go out. You know, I was going through my paychecks like crazy, man. I actually was working at a sushi restaurant at the time, so I was going through my paychecks, and I was going through all my tips quick, you know, probably within 2 to 3 days after I get my check, it's already gone. So I was hard up for money. So this one night we're at the bar, we're hanging out. I leave the group at the bar, right? We're just hanging out at the bar, chilling, having a good time. So I excuse myself and I go take a walk. I go to the restroom and then I walk around the lobby just to check it out. I didn't have anything planned, nothing like that. It was later on in the evening, and nobody was at the front desk at the time. So here I am just walking around the lobby, you know, walking around the lobby, checking it out. Because I've worked in a lot of hotels, so I was just checking out this hotel. I've never been there before. So inside the lobby, there were 2 big portraits. I think in other videos I said there were paintings, but they were actually portraits from a local photographer. So as soon as I saw those, my eyes locked in. I was thinking dollar signs. I was like, okay, I got to get those somehow. So here I go on autopilot, right? Here I go on autopilot. Nobody's at the desk. I get a wild hair up my butt, and I'm thinking to myself, if these portraits aren't fastened down, they're mine. I don't know how, but they're mine. So I walk up, you know, just check it out, pretend I'm interested in the freaking picture there. So I touch it, and then pretend I'm feeling the frame, seeing if it's loose or not. And it wasn't loose. I think it was just hanging like on a nail or some sort of bracket, right? It wasn't secured to the wall. So what do, right? I look back at the front desk like I'm a little kid with my hand in the cookie jar, seeing if my parents are looking. No one's looking. So I walk up to one of the freaking pictures, take it down, and I walk out the lobby. It was mechanical doors, so it opens up. I'm like, thank you, doors. And then I walk to the right and stash it on the side of the building. Walk back in, nobody's at the desk. Go up to the other one, take it down, go out the doors, and then make a right, stash it next to the other one. So I'm thinking, man, I did that. I'm deep in now. It's a commitment. I didn't go back in the lobby. I go back in the bar through another entrance, and I go back to the bar, hang out with my friend, continue drinking, and then we take off. I wasn't driving that night, so I didn't get a chance. I didn't have the option to put these freaking big old these big old pictures in my car. My friend was driving. I didn't want to put these in his truck because I didn't want him to know. I didn't want anybody to know. So we finish up and then we leave. He drops me off. He goes home. That's that. So the next day, I wake up. I had gas in my car, thankfully, right? So I go back to the hotel. if these things are still there, I'm taking them. Of course, I didn't have any money and I needed to get high. I was dope sick, not feeling good at all. So I pull up on the side of the building, put these freaking things in my car. They fit, and I had to wait like an hour, hour and a half for the pawn shop to open. So I wait. In the meantime, I call one of my connects. I waited out, pawn these things, get my cash, and then I had enough dope for the day, just to survive the day. That's all I was doing it for. I was never a thief prior to being on drugs. My addiction made me do this. That I can blame it on. That I could blame those things on. That I could blame my nonsensical behavior on. Like I said, if I was sober, if I was clean, I don't do that stuff, dude. I don't need to. I'm working. There's no need to be walking in hotels and stealing stuff off the wall. So ultimately, they were able to track me down through the girl that worked at the bar. She got in contact with my friend, like, who is this fool? He stole some stuff from the lobby. And then my friend tells the cops or detective or something, right? Who I am, where I work, where I live, all this stuff, right? So anyway, I catch my case. I go to prison. And then, like I said, little over the halfway point, I get a letter in the mail. I'm already in prison. Things are good. I develop my routine. I get a letter in the mail. It's from, I think, City Court. It wasn't Superior Court. It was from, I'm guessing, City Court. And it was regarding a theft charge. And they were proceeding with these charges. So like I said, that was the scariest day I had in prison. Because, let me tell you why. Knowing that they're going to proceed with these charges, knowing that they know where I am, I'm already locked up. There's no way I could get out of prison. There's no way I could get out of that situation, and there's no way I could get out of this theft charge situation. I'm kind of freaking out when I received this letter. I'm like, damn, I forgot about this case, right? So I ask a few guys, that I'm pretty close to on the yard. I'm asking them, what are my options? What should I do? They're like, man, you got to face this. You're here. They know where you are. You're either going to have to finish your time. The Pima County Jail will come pick me up. They take me back to the jail, fresh from prison. They also said, talk to your CO3. And the CO3 is like a, kind of like a counselor, caseworker type person. And they're on the prison yard. So I made it a point to speak with this person, told him I brought the letter, showed him the letter, explained my situation. And he's like, look, he pulled out a form, and it was a petition to quash the warrant. It was a warrant for the theft charge. So I filled that out, sent it back to the court. And so I had to wait 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And then about a month later, I received a letter back from the court. It was basically, I'm screwed or something else. That whole time I was freaking out, stressing, thinking about it all day, every day. I still had my routine. Things were good aside from that case that was pending, right? So anyway, I get the letter, muster up the courage to open it, right? Thankfully, super thankfully, they quashed the warrant. Ultimately, they gave me time served for that charge. They excuse it, I guess, right? So if it wasn't for reaching out, speaking to the CO3, and them being cool about the situation, right? They noticed how stressed I was. We figured it out, and thankfully the courts, quashed it and gave me time served. I didn't want to have to do my full year in prison and then get picked up, hop in the county van, go back to county, see the judge about that freaking theft charge, But things worked out, man. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I don't think I ever spoke on anything crazy that I've seen in prison. If I did, I wouldn't be on here talking about it, because all that stuff stays back there, right? There's plenty of other channels on here that speak about the politics heavy, right? We don't do that here, man. So yeah, thanks for listening.